diving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning, everyone. Hey, I cut my hair. Now my head's all shiny. Help me, there's a black hole in my forehead. Good morning. It is good to see all of you. Let's get through our regular stuff. Please let me know that you're here. Say hi. Feel free to interact. If you got something you want to say, feel free to say it. Got a topic. I'll pick topics. It keeps my mind going. Jill wanted me to talk on passive aggressive and assertiveness today, but I just don't have the brain power for that. I have to do some digging, and I just didn't quite have it today. Good morning, Brenda. Brenda's here. We got William. Is that William saying hi? It is. Good morning, William. Good to see you guys. You guys have probably seen in the on the page that we are starting Jill and I have decided to start a noon AA meeting. And this, I'm announcing it on here, but it has nothing to do with trudging together. It'll support it, but it has nothing to do with trudging together. But this is going to be a good opportunity for some service work. There's a lot of service work that goes into the Zoom meetings, and we still need GSRs, treasurers, and secretaries. But what's great is everybody across the country and everybody all around can join us. I don't see Zoom going away. Even when all this happens, I don't think Zoom is going to go away in the recovery field. It has already become kind of a staple. So, all right, let's get to some reading today. Good morning, Mr. Livingston. I call you Mr. Livingston because I'm afraid to pronounce your first name and mess it up. People always messed up my first name, so I'm very careful about it. I'm going to try. McCoy. If I said it right, let me know. If I didn't, I'll try again tomorrow. It's all about progress, right? All right. Let's start with daily reflections. I'm going to be reading out of several different things this morning. Because I don't have As Bill Sees It yet. It's on order. Actually, Jill has it for me. I just need to go over and get it. So, in God's economy, nothing is wasted. Through failure, we learn a lesson in humility, which is probably needed, painful though it is. So, in God's economy, so everything, all the feelings that you go through and everything that you're touching and everything that you're doing has an economy to it. Okay, it might not be money, but there is a value that is put on that. Okay, so, and that's what he's talking about with economy, is the tools that you have in your tool box or whatever, the things that you use to stay sober, right? How thankful I am today to know that all my past failures were necessary for me to be where I am now. Absolutely, I love who I am now. I love me. But I wouldn't be who I am right now if all of that stuff wouldn't happen to me, or if I wouldn't have done all that stuff, right? And I have to accept it for what it is. The other thing is I can't change it. I can't go back and change the past. Even if you have a time machine, it wouldn't work. That's not how It's not how it works. You guys need to go watch a lot more Star Wars, Star Trek. I love fucking with the space-time continuum. I think it's hilarious. All right. Through much pain and experience and in suffering, I became obedient. It's kind of a harsh word for us, huh? Obedient. Does that make you feel like a dog? Kinda. But there again, Rule 62, right? Don't take ourselves so seriously. When I sought God as I understood him, he shared his treasured gifts with me. Absolutely he did. Serenity, peace, I went through a lot of stuff last week. A lot. Okay. And I didn't even need to call my doctor. Thank you, God. Thank you. Through experience and obedience, growth started, followed by gratitude. Yes, then came peace of mind, living and sharing in sobriety. Right? So that is the challenge of failure. Right? The challenge, and in the beginning, failure looks more like relapse. Yeah, the not letting our minds go into the places that'll have us use, or staying out of negative thoughts and things like that. And that's going to change as you get into the program. At one point, God's going to take away your obsession to drink. And when he does that, that is where all this is going to start. That's when fear of failure is going to become something different. Okay? Like showing up to meetings, doing what you said you would do. Yes, I'll be there. Then be there. Your communication has changed. You've become a different person entirely. All right, now let's go read out of ODAT. Before we came to the program, fear ruled our lives. See how the fear and the failure are connecting, okay? But this fear and this failure drives us to the program. So isn't that kind of good in a sense? It's kind of good, right? Just checking on some things here. Fear ruled our lives. Tyrannized by our addiction and obsessions, we feared everything and everybody. We feared ourselves, and perhaps most of all, feared fear itself. These days, when I am able to accept the help of my higher power, it makes me feel capable of doing anything I am called upon to do. I'm overcoming my fears and acquiring a comfortable new confidence. Can I believe that courage is fear that has said its prayers? Can I believe that courage is fear that has said its prayers? I like that. So, the opposite of fear would be courage, right? In this sense. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and I really like this, but I like the way they combined it. And she said, fear used to mean fuck everything and run, and now it means face everything and rise. Okay? For her. Now, I've heard both of those, but not together like that. And I really appreciated that. Right? So, and that's the difference between, what she was saying. That was the difference between being in the obsession and not being in the obsession. Okay? That's why we say stick around for the miracle to happen. That's the miracle. Okay? The obsession is lifted. Now your mind is free to do what it needs to do, like the fourth step. God grant that through faith in him, I may overcome my obsessive fears. I've overcome my obsessive fears. And it took some work. But I'm going to tell you the one thing that it took more than anything: time. I've been running scared for so long, it has become a habit. Fear is a habit. Drama is a habit. Anger is a habit. All of these things can be habits. I guess anger isn't necessarily a habit, but what you do about it can be. No, anger can be a fucking habit, because I was angry all the time, guys. Even when I was happy, I was angry. And it gave me a heart attack. God help me to see that I may be purposely clinging to my fears. Yeah, to avoid making decisions. So sometimes we'll use our fears so that we don't have to work on something. Perhaps even to shirk the responsibility of success. Oh, that's a hard one. Okay, every alcoholic I talk to there's one thing that we all have in common. Okay, we suck at accepting compliments. I suck at it. So now you know what I do? I say, thank you. And then I shut up. I don't do the thank you, but I'm just, I quit doing that. God doesn't want me doing that. Okay? I am who I am, and that's it. Today I'll remember fear keeps me safe from risk taking. There's There's some risks that I feel like I have to take, though. Like, I wanted to take the risk of, the faith of God. That was a pretty big risk, right? Trusting in you guys not steering me wrong, that you're actually telling me the truth, right? I had to trust in that. All right. One of my favorite parts. I don't even need the book, but let's use it so that people... The only reason that I would want to read this portion without looking at the book is so that you think I'm really cool. Seriously, that's what it's about. It's about feeding the ego, guys. So let's look at the book. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. There are those who do not recover. Those who do not recover. Oh, look at that. Reading it and I messed it up. There you go. Before we get into this, I like that. Give myself 3 compliments. Was myself careless on this morning? That's tough to do. Loving yourself and then giving yourself compliments. Wow. All right. Who's saying this? Is this William? All right. William has to say, maybe a way back in my life, back in the days, always on the offensive all the time, no reason. Haha, you're cool. Yeah, thanks. I'm cool. Those who do not recover, people cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program. It is a simple program. We are the ones that confuse it. Don't reinvent the fucking wheel. You are not Bill W. You are not Dobby. You are not Dr. Bob. You are not Ebby. You are who you are, period. I'm tired of these people trying to be the next Bill Wilson. Okay? There was a reason God chose him, guys. There was a reason for it. And we're reading it right now. See, he needed the help of 99 other people to write this book. How many people are you having help you write your book? Oh, you wrote it on your own. Okay. You guys see where I'm going with that? We have 100 people here that came to agreement, 100 fucking alcoholics that came to an agreement. So let's find out. It is a simple program. It is very simple. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. There it is. I have met all sorts of people. All sorts. Okay? And the only thing that you need is honesty. It is the only thing that you need, even though it's very, very hard. Morning, Gary. Good to see you. Love you, dude. There are such unfortunates. There are. I've seen it. We see it happen all the time. And it's the hardest part of what we do. They are not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. They are naturally incapable of grasping and develop a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. So guess what, guys? It's not your fault. It's not your fault you're an alcoholic or drug addict. It's not your fault that you have a mental illness. Okay? But we are going to take responsibility for our actions. We are going to do that. And that's where the honesty part comes in. You know where the honesty really applies? The serenity prayer. Their chances are less than average. There are those who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. I know because I'm sitting right here. Okay? Alcoholism looks like mental disorders. It looks like anxiety. It looks like PTSD. It can look like ADD. It can look like OCD. Okay? That's why you cannot go do that stuff until you are 6 months sober. Everything needs to be out of your system. Or stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we are like now. Okay? That is how you talk in an AA meeting. You say what it was like, what happened, what it's like now, then you're quiet. If you have decided you want what we have, are willing to go to any length, then you're ready to take certain steps. Some of these we balked. We thought we could find an easier, softer way, but we could not. Listen to this part. With all the earnestness at our command, we beg of you, We beg. They're begging you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. Remember that we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, and powerful, and patient. It waited for me for 12 years, and it was there. It was there, sitting right there, waiting. Oh, hey, Dion, how you been? Without help, it is too much for us. But there is one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. Half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point. We asked his protection and care with complete abandon. And I think we tend to take advantage of how it works because we read it so much. Like a lot of meetings, that's what they read each time. Why? Because meetings are about the newcomer. It's one of the reasons I'm kind of switching meetings, because it's about the newcomer for me. I love the newcomers. Right? What does William have to say on this? Yep, there's only one Bill Bob. I meant if you want to be the new messiahs, yeah, that's all we really can do. You know, we laugh at such a Sally because we know inwardly he would give that he would love to get away with a half a dozen drinks. Am I correct? I am. Okay. See, Bill was a very humble man, and he was extremely smart. He was very smart, smarter than probably anybody you ever knew. Man, you're all going to be like, oh, bullshit. You watch. I'll be done. Right. All right, guys. Yep. New meeting Monday. Tomorrow, I'm going to be talking on assertiveness and passive aggressiveness. That'll be kind of a fun one. And the difference on how, you know, you're probably more passive aggressive than you know. Okay. Because until you have the information, you're not really going to know. Right. And passive aggressive, man, that's some fucked up stuff. I know, because I used to do it. All right, guys, have a great day. Have a fantastic day with the 6 8. What was that? I went to bed and I got up. There's like a foot of snow on the ground. And it's already almost all gone. So, all right, have a great day. Peace out. I love you guys and have a day. We'll see you tomorrow.